For 70 years, the weathered oak on the shore of Crystal Lake had been Arthur Gramps O'Malley's personal throne. From its gnarled roots, he'd learned to cast a line with his father, stolen his first kiss with his future wife, Clara, and taught his own grandchildren the patient art of fishing. The sprawling, manicured community of the preserve at Crystal Lake now loomed behind him, but that single oak and the path to it were his by right, a grandfather clause easement written in ink and memory. The new HOA president, a man named Chadwick whose smile never reached his eyes, saw things differently. To him, Gramps was a blemish on the community's pristine image, a man in faded overalls sullying the view from the multi-million-dollar homes. It was a perfect Tuesday morning when the trouble began. Gramps was there with his 8-year-old granddaughter, Lily, her small hands struggling with a wriggling worm. A shadow fell over them. "Arthur, this is private property," Chadwick announced, flanked by 2 security guards. "You're trespassing." "It's an easement, Chadwick. My family's had this right since before your foundation was poured," Gramps said, not looking up from helping Lily. "That document is disputed. Leave now or I will have you removed." Minutes later, the silent morning was pierced by the sound of sirens. 2 police cruisers pulled up to the community's entrance. Chadwick had called the cops on an 80-year-old man and a little girl for fishing. Officer Miller, a veteran who knew Gramps, approached with a weary sigh. "Arthur, again?" Before Gramps could answer, Chadwick interjected, waving a copy of the community bylaws. "This is persistent trespassing, officer. We need it documented. We're prepared to press charges." As Officer Miller tried to de-escalate, Chadwick's phone rang. He answered, his voice booming with performative authority. "Yes, this is Chadwick, HOA president. I'm currently dealing with a trespasser. Yes, the one with the easement. No, I will not back down. The community's integrity is at stake." He was so engrossed in his self-important performance, he failed to notice the click on the other end of the line. The person he was berating wasn't a resident, but the chairman of the state's Historical Landmarks Committee, who had been conducting a friendly follow-up call about finalizing a $2 million grant to preserve the very easement and its historical fishing rights as a public access point. Chadwick's public declaration of war against the easement, captured in that one unguarded moment, was the final nail in the coffin. The committee, hearing the hostility and learning of the police involvement, immediately withdrew the grant. The legal battle the HOA had been secretly waging to void the easement was now public, and their star witness, the president himself, had just proven their intent was to harass, not to negotiate in good faith. The judge threw out their case that afternoon. As the police cars and a now pale Chadwick retreated, Gramps cast his line back into the water. The fight was over. He hadn't won the $2 million, but he had won the oak, the path, and the right to teach his great-grandchildren how to fish. Some things, he thought with a smile, were worth more than all the money in the world, and they couldn't be taken away by a man with a clipboard and a heart of stone.